DreAllDay.com.
What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation is about remembering the ultimate outcome, remembering the ultimate goal. The reason I'm talking about this is I'm sure that if you're watching a video called Weekly Motivation, you probably have some goals. You probably have some outcomes that you wish to achieve. The thing is, though, for those of you who are very ambitious like myself, you may have some really high goals, really lofty goals that where you are right now is very far away from where the actual goal is. There's a huge gap between you now and the you that's going to reach that goal, and all the stuff you got to do and all the things you got to achieve in between here and there, right? The challenge for us is because of that time gap, the effort gap, the energy gap, the change in who we are gap between our current selves and our goal achieving self-actualized selves. That gap is so big that sometimes while we're in the process of doing everything that's in between, we sometimes forget what the goal is. We sometimes forget what the actual outcome is. For example, a basketball player or athlete in any sport will come to me and say, well, Dre, I want to play at the top level, NFL, NBA, Olympics, major leagues, whatever. And then they ask me, well, should I play for this higher team where the players are a whole lot better, but I might not play as much, or this lower team where I'll play a whole lot more and get a whole lot of shots and be able to get great stats up? And sometimes I got to remind those players, listen, what's your ultimate goal? Your ultimate goal is to play on the highest level of the game. So if you want to play on the highest level of the game, then there's no question as to which team you should choose. You should choose the team that's at the higher level, and not because I'm choosing it because I'm reserving myself to sitting on the bench. You're choosing it because you are challenging yourself to step your game up to another level. Because the only way you're going to get from current you to ultimate goal you got to keep stepping up to different levels. So why would you ever stay at the level you're at just so you can dominate? It may feel good, it may look good in a moment, and maybe you'll get a lot of attention for it, but ultimately if you got to choose between a lower one and a higher one, always take the higher one if your aim is to go to the higher level. Now if your aim is to play for fun, pick people you can play with and beat so you can feel good and have bragging rights. But that's just one example that I like to use. But often, as I said, because the gap is so huge, we get in the middle of doing all these things on a day-to-day basis. You might have a goal right now that the only way you can achieve your goal, you may be 15, maybe you can't achieve that goal till you turn 22. Maybe you're 19, you can't achieve the goal till you're 27, or you're 35, you can't achieve the goal till you're 50. So all that time in between the two and all the stuff you got to do, all those days that come in between all that time, we're doing all these other things. We don't always remember what the ultimate goal is. And the reason why it's important to remember the ultimate goal is because when we know what our outcome is, it's a whole lot easier to make decisions. So when you find yourself in the midst of your day, your weeks, doing your work, and it's like, it's hard to make a decision. I don't know if I should do this or I should do this. Should I take this option or take that option, talk to this person or talk to that person? Should I do this much work or do a little bit less, join this team or that team? If you find yourself not able to make decisions, it's because you may have lost sight of your goal. You may have lost sight of what the ultimate outcome is that you want. Now, if you need to get reacquainted with your goal, all you got to do is ask yourself, okay, with this being my ultimate outcome, which of these choices gets me closer to that? Which of these choices gets me closer? If you're not sure, if you're really not sure, go to someone who's already achieved that goal or someone who's at least gotten further than you and ask them, hey, between these two options, first of all, you got to be clear what your goal is. Okay, this is my outcome. These are the two options that I have. Are you seeing something that I'm not seeing? Usually, if you know what the outcome is and what your choices are, if it's 3, 10, 20 choices, 2 choices, you have a very clear understanding. Okay, this one's going to get me closer to this one. It's obviously this one. It's obviously that one right here. It's definitely not that one or that one. You should be able to do this yourself. The more self-sufficient you can be, the easier it is and faster you can make decisions. People who make decisions fast usually are the leaders, the difference makers, the people with power, the people who get things done. So I'm telling you all this, not for you to come to me or a teacher or a coach or some expert that you think can help you solve your problem. You need to learn how to solve your problems. Leaders, powerful people are people who solve problems. That's it. Business is solving problems. I had a problem. I wanted to live in a place that had a great view of the city. Somebody solved this problem for me and I paid money for it. I had a problem. I needed a camera, a better camera than what I was using before so my stuff would look better online. Somebody solved that problem and sold me a camera. See, these are problems. That's all problem solving is. A problem. I didn't have no clues. I needed something to cover my body so I wouldn't get arrested for indecent exposure. Solved the problem. Somebody sold me a shirt. I bought my own shirt. All right, I solved my own problem. This is the exact thing that you got to do with yourself. Be clear what your outcome is. And you notice all those examples I gave, I knew what the outcome was. Outcome, I wanted a nice view. Outcome, I needed something to wear. Outcome, I needed a camera that made me look good, or that just showed me looking good. It's already looked good. understand I knew what my outcome was. When you know what the outcome is, it's easy to make decisions. It's easy to narrow down your choices when you know what your outcome is. But though we all have outcomes, sometimes we just forget them because we get stuck in the weeds of the do things, do this, take this action, work on our games. We forget what the outcome was. Remind yourself of your outcome every single day. Whatever your goals are for life, they should be written down. You should be looking at them. That's the first thing you should be looking at every single day. Not Twitter, not Instagram, not your email, not text, because all that is what other people are talking about. You need to know what you're talking about. Every single day, remind yourself of your ultimate outcome. Will make it a whole lot easier for you to make decisions and take actions during that day. Do it every day. Eventually, all your life is going to be a reflection of, I'm going for this goal. And if you do that, there's no way you can't hit it. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.